Hello, good evening. It is Friday. It's just gone 7:30. This is Over and Over and Over Again. And of course, it is the regular Arsenal women's show. It's going to be a good show tonight. We've got quite a lot to get through, of course. We'll be looking back on last weekend's disappointing FA Cup semi-final defeat to Chelsea. We'll also be looking at a big weekend in the WSL. Can Tottenham do us a favour? We'll have to have a look at that as well. We've got our own game to win as well on Sunday evening, don't forget. We're going to look at, there's a new contract being handed out to one of our own players this week as well. So we'll be talking about that. And of course, we will be getting Amar's latest fantastic question. See if Andreas can get it right again. He's on a bit of a roll at the moment. And also Matt, who's going to be a bit late tonight, but he will be here a bit later on. And he has, of course, got his latest player chart as well. So loads and loads coming up the other side of this. So, good evening. I say it's the Arsenal Women's Show. Amar's running a little bit late as well, but he will be here very soon as well. So, for the time being, it's just me and, of course, Andreas. Are you okay this week?
Yeah, not bad at all. Good evening, everybody, and glad to be back again.
Yeah, unfortunately not maybe what we were hoping to be talking about this week. We're hoping to be looking forward to an FA Cup final in May, but unfortunately it wasn't to be, was it, last weekend? So I suppose there's only one place we can really start, and that will be that game, of course, against Chelsea. I mean, it's never nice losing a semi-final, let's be honest, and that even more painful losing to them, I suppose, again. But I mean, there were some positives for me with the game. First of all, the crowd. I mean, it was brilliant to see a virtually full Meadow Park, actually. Good atmosphere in the stadium. A lot of Chelsea fans there as well, actually, which was nice. And you know, it was kind of a game of two halves, wasn't it, to a certain degree. We started well in the first half. We were probably the better team, had one or two good opportunities that maybe we needed to take. Unfortunately, we didn't. But then in the second half, we never really got going. And once Chelsea scored their first goal, you never really felt we were going to come back, unfortunately. We made a few mistakes, which didn't help. And in the end, it just kind of drifted away from us, didn't it, really? But I suppose we want to look at, first of all, the first half, because that was such a good performance, wasn't it, in that first half from us? Certainly the first 25 minutes or so. We just got into them straight away, didn't we? We didn't let them settle on the ball. And that one chance for me was that one that Stina had when she got to the byline, took too long to decide to pull it back to Viv. And that was that big moment, wasn't it? I think if she'd played that to Viv earlier, Viv scores, we go 1-0 up, it'd have been a totally different game, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think she was a little bit astonished that the ball wasn't out, or that wasn't given out. For me, it looked as if she was in doubt. Should I play on? Is it out or is it in? And this was the 5 seconds or 3 seconds that would have been needed to pass the ball to Viv. But yeah, this was a very big chance. And I think Beth had another good chance to score. And I don't understand what happened. The first 40 minutes, I would say, we were the better team. We started well in the match. We dominated the match. We had the better chances, more ball possession. And normally, when you dominate a match, it lasts until halftime. But it was like there was a cut after 40 minutes. I don't understand what happened then. Suddenly we lost, or we gave the match out of our hands. We lost control, and the last 5 minutes from the first half, it looked as if Chelsea could score. They are getting control over the match. And then starting the second half, we had this big chance from Beth again, and 1 minute later, Guro Reiten scored a really wonderful goal. It's hard and it hurts, but I think we have to say the goal from Guro Reiten and from G were world-class goals, and impossible to defend. But after the first goal, it didn't look as if we would come back into the game, and or if we could level it, or and after the second goal, the match was over. It's hard to say, but it looked as if it was over. We couldn't come back. Chelsea controlled the match. I don't understand what happened after 40 minutes. I have to say this again. So good started in the match, controlled, and then gave it away. Yeah, we're all disappointed, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like just at the end of the first half, we started to make one or two mistakes, didn't we? Yeah. Gave the ball away in silly areas, and we were getting in each other's way a couple of times, and I don't know, we just had a really dodgy spell. But as you said, straight after half time, there was that big chance for Beth. She turned really well in the area, didn't she? And it looked like it was in. It beat the keeper, and if it had just been a few inches the other way, it goes in off the post. We go 1-0 up, and it's changes the game, because like you said, almost straight after the next attack, Chelsea scored, didn't they, straight away. And maybe we switched off slightly, having just had that big chance. Maybe perhaps that's what happened, I don't know. But I mean, she had so much space, didn't she, Guro? Right? I mean, it was a great finish into the top corner, but she was allowed to run with the ball. Nobody closed her down, and then she got to a shooting opportunity, and still nobody's closed her down. And I got a little bit concerned about that, actually, because I felt we should have engaged with her a lot earlier. Even if you give away a foul, do something. Don't just let her run with the ball, because the quality that she's got. And we'd actually defended pretty well against her up until then, because how dangerous she can be, hadn't we? And then we sort of switched off a little bit, gave her that space. And players like that, if you give them that time, they're going to punish you, aren't they? And that's sort of what happened. But I agree, once they scored, Chelsea don't concede many goals anyway, do they? Let's be honest. They're very solid defensively, and you kind of felt as though we had a mountain to climb at that point. And of course, the second goal, again, little mistake from us, maybe at the back, wasn't it? Didn't clear our lines properly, and again, a good finish, as you said, from G. I mean, a really good goal into the top corner. There's no saving that, was there? But yeah, we after the first goal, really, it was, I wouldn't say painful to watch. It was difficult to watch, wasn't it? Because we didn't ever look like we were going to come back, did we? Unfortunately, for whatever reason. Yet we've got quality in the attack. Why do you think it was that we didn't even really threaten a goal back after they got that first goal? We just never threatened their goal at all, did we? With the quality that we've got, why did it not really work?
I don't think that's a problem from the attacking line. I think our problems lie deeper in the midfield. From the more I see in the last weeks, I think we have the problem in midfield. Of course, we said in the last weeks this combination between Viv and Stina is very good, and Viv is more involved in the match. But what I would like to say is I think Kim Little is playing too deep in the last weeks. She is one who creates chances, and she's caught in the first half of the season. She's when she goes into the box, she's very dynamic. She's also, sometimes you can say, she's clinical if she's in the box, and she scores goals. And now I think she's playing too deep. Maybe this is a point Jonas should think about. She's no defender, and it takes away some of her extraordinary qualities. And when Kim is playing so deep, I see another point that she's taking space from Leah Walty. Leah is a very good holding midfielder, number 6, but sometimes I feel Kim and Leah are too close together on the pitch. Leah is better when she has more space, when the sixth position is hers. And now there's sometimes Kim, and then there's a gap, and then with trying to create chances for the attackers. Yeah, it's just my impression. I have no solution for it. It's just what I saw by watching the games, and I think Jonas should try to react. Maybe it would have been a possibility to say, take Viv in number 9 position, and let Stina out, and then Kim in number 10, just trying. We were 2-0 down, so why not trying? And sometimes I think Jonas reacts too late with his substitutes, or that he wants to change something. he waits until 70th minute or so, and then it's too late to change something. Yeah, I know it's very critical now, but as I said, we're all disappointed, and and we saw in the first half it would have been possible to win. So maybe this is why it hurts even more.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with what you're saying about Kim Little, because she hasn't been as effective in the second half of the season, certainly from an attacking perspective. And dropping deep isn't bringing the best out of her. But that's the only way he's managed to squeeze in Viv and Stina with Beth and Caitlin as well, is that kind of attacking formation. So it's maybe leaving one of those out to then get Kim further forward and put Viv higher up the pitch again as well. And it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because it's, I don't know. It does in some of the games it's worked well. In other games we've struggled with it, and it's getting that balance right. And maybe it's just because it's still a new system, isn't it? Maybe it just needs time to settle. We have got a new guest just arrived. Emma, how you doing, Emma? Late as usual, but that's fine.
Sorry, it's a bit late. I was just watching the end of the latest Barcelona masterclass.
Yeah, we were just
Andreas 5-1. 5-1.
Totally okay for me.
It easily been 10. The crowd as well, 91,000, was just amazing. This gave me goosebumps.
Yeah, no, I mean, it is incredible what's going on in Barcelona. It's just, obviously, from our perspective, looking at that semi-final, I'm not that disappointed we didn't get through, because one, it would have given us a fixture pile up in the WSL.
Absolutely,
and secondly, we probably wouldn't have won. Let's be totally honest. As much as we love our team, you know, the chance of us beating Barcelona would have been virtually zero. Let's be honest. I mean,
I'm struggling to think of a better women's football team, club or international side on the planet right now. In all honesty,
maybe ever, actually. You know, possibly
maybe
ever.
Yeah. Well, even probably better than some of the US side and German sides from the past. I would say, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. No, I mean,
in their best times.
Yeah. I mean, it's incredible.
I would never leave you guys today, man. I was a bit tired. I was playing golf all day, and then I came home a bit late, but I would never leave you guys. So
no, of course not. You're here. That's the main thing. Terry's in the chat here. He says, "Evening, Richard and Andreas." That was before Amar arrived. Terry says, "Chelsea's goals were all down to us." Well, yeah, they were kind of down to us. I agree. We made too many mistakes. And Terry says, "Good goal by Rod."
Yeah, it was a
good goal by Jill Rod, and it's nice that somebody managed to score against Barcelona. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough to make any difference to the result in the end. And Barcelona look as though they're going to be in the final again. So that seems to be that sorted out. And I say so. Seeing bits of that game, seeing the scoreline makes me feel I'm kind of not that disappointed now.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Good learning curve for us playing against those teams anyway. So
yeah, exactly. It's just a shame, obviously, that we was in that side of the draw. Had we not had to play Barcelona, I'd have been devastated to have got knocked out. But that kind of softened the blow a little bit, knowing that it was Barcelona probably beating us anyway. Stephen's in the chat as well. Sorry, guys. How you doing, Stephen? Thanks a lot for tuning in. Terry says, "Emma, a good late evening."
Good evening.
And Herman in the chat says Barcelona doesn't need Neymar, but Arsenal don't. That's a good point. Maybe Viv needs to be aware of that as well, because obviously Barcelona don't need anybody else, do they? Quite honestly,
they don't.
With the team they've got, but yeah, I mean, we do need a lot more than Barcelona do, and maybe that might be what swings it at the end of the season. We'll have to wait and see. We'll see what's going to happen. We don't know yet, do we? What's going to go on with Viv at this moment in time? I mean, Emma, we were just sort of talking about the Chelsea game. Obviously, a game of two halves. We kind of called it the first half. We were pretty good for a lot of it. And then the second half, once Chelsea scored, we never really threatened them, did we? And it just seems to me as though what happened was the first game of the season when we scored 3 against Chelsea, beating 3-2 at the Emirates. Maybe Jonas was brand new in the job. I think maybe he caught Emma out a little bit. Since then, it's like we've not scored against Chelsea in those last 3 games against them this season. And apart from 1 or 2 little moments in that game, we didn't really look as though we were going to score against them again, did we? On last weekend, unfortunately, especially once they scored the goal. We had 1 or 2 moments before that. The Beth Mead chance just before they scored, that was a turning point perhaps of the game, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, the first half was, even she admitted herself afterwards, Emma Hayes, that the first 20 minutes, we could see they were struggling to get it forward. But there was just towards the end of the first half where we kept trying to play at the back and we were giving away. You could just sense that was going to ask for trouble, and eventually they could exploit that. And yes, we had chances. There was one where Beth got in around the back. She could just squared it a bit better, and somebody had been on the end. think it was in the first few minutes. They could have scored, but after that chance, I don't know, why didn't she just go to the keeper's left? I don't know why she went try to go to the keeper's right, and he ended up being well wide. But you just knew that once they scored, they just stood off them, and when you can't allow a player of Guru Raitan's quality to have that much time and space on the ball and expect her to miss. And yeah, once they scored, you just feared. Just knew it as soon as Beth missed. I thought they're going to go up the other end and score, and they did that. And then when G scored a second good goal as it was, it just all had that similar feeling, sadly, of when we were there in December, that we just didn't look like getting back to the game. And I don't like to say it, if I'm being honest, but it was a bit abysmal in the end, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, certainly the second half was. In the end, it was like, just get this game over with, because we just get it over with. But I mean, once again, though, for me, we've just come short in the games against the better teams. You know, we're a good side. We're still maybe developing a little bit. It's a new manager. You know, quite a few new players in the squad this season. I still think we're going to be improving, but at the moment, when it comes to playing the big teams, Chelsea, obviously, we've say 3 times in a row we haven't scored against them. Barcelona earlier in the season. You know, when we've played against those teams that are maybe just slightly above us, we just can't. We're not quite good enough yet. We're not as good as them. And yes, we could still end up winning the WSL ahead of Chelsea, possibly, if someone can do us a favour. But ultimately, I think it's fair to say, as much as we don't want to admit it, at this moment in time, Chelsea are better than us. They are a better team than us, unfortunately.
Yeah. There's no shame.
They're better defensively than we are. They're more stable defensively, and we know the quality they've got in the final third. And although we're getting there and we closed the gap and we're improving, at the moment, I think we just have to hold our hands up and say, you know what, we're not quite. And if we do manage to win the WSL this year, it'll be fantastic. And maybe it will be slightly unexpected. Overall, but let's see what happens. But yeah, I mean, I think we just have to admit that Chelsea have been, that group of players have been together for a long time. Emma's been there a long time. They're very settled, aren't they? And you can see that's the only difference for me. And I think we will get there. It just might take us a year or two more to actually make those little adjustments and improvements that we need in the games against those very best teams. And we just see, as we just said there, we just seen Barcelona. That's the level that we got to look to. And you know, we know what we need to do to get to that level. It's not easy, is it? And we've got Michael in the chat there. He says, hate to interrupt, well, not really, but you should give Williams some player of the season for the own goal v Wolfsburg. Yeah, because we certainly didn't want to play that game tonight. Definitely not. And he says, but for the goalkeeper, it might have been double.
Easily been 10.
Yeah, I mean, we know the quality of their goalkeeper. We struggled to score past in 2 games as well. So, yeah, I mean, there's nothing we can say. Barcelona are head and shoulders above pretty much everybody else anyway, and they're certainly head and shoulders above us. And I'm not actually that disappointed. As I said, that we wasn't getting hammered tonight. At Wolfsburg got hammered instead. No, that's fine. Let them get hammered tonight. We can focus on what we've got left to play for, which is still, still a lot to play for. We've got 4 games left in the league, and let's see what happens. Terry says, it was so disappointing. You expect it from the men's side, but not the women's. Yeah, I mean, you do and you don't. I mean, let's be honest. As I said before, when we're playing those big teams, those really, really extra level teams, we're not quite there, are we? So it's not, I wouldn't say it was unexpected. You hope, don't you? You go into a game and you hope that you're going to get a result. And, unfortunately, when it's come to those big games, we have just fallen short this season in a few of them, haven't we? Let's be honest. And I mean, Andreas, what do you think we need to do now? I mean, I know this season's not quite over yet, but if we're looking at getting ahead of Chelsea and competing more in those very top teams in the Champions League, which we've seen, we're not quite there yet. What do we need to improve, do you think, overall? Obviously, some different players maybe as well, but what else do you think? What do we need to do better?
I think we have improved this season, and the difference is not as big as it was in the last 2 seasons. But the depth of the squad at Chelsea is fantastic. When you see, we managed to take Sam Kerr out of the match. She was not playing a special role. We controlled her, and she was out. But they have Bethany England, they have Guru Raitan, and of course, G is a fantastic midfielder. Over a decade now, she's at Chelsea, and I think it's the squad depth. It's they have grown together, and that's what you said. We are still in developing the team. We made a cut last season, and we are developing new style, new manager, new players, and it takes time. Chelsea has grown, and they have fantastic players. When you see that Frank Kirby is out now, the player of the season last season.
Yes.
She's not playing in the second half of the season. Pernille Harder was injured and out for, I think, nearly 2 months. They are scoring a lot of goals without Kirby and Harder. You can control Sam Kerr; she's not scoring, but then they have other. The spot depth is a problem, and we must do something in summer. And I think we have to do something for the midfield. We have fantastic attackers, but in midfield, and don't forget that Kim Little is, I think she will turn 32 this year, 31.
That's right, that's correct.
She won't have too many years at this level, what she's playing now. So we must do something. And why not we're trying to play Leo Williamson or as holding midfielder or in some matches just trying. Serena Wiegman is convinced that Leah is her number 6, her holding midfielder. And if it works for England, why shouldn't it work for Arsenal? This would, it would give us possibilities to change during a match, or to say against this opponent we try Leah at 6, or So I think we have to do something in midfield, and also we must be patient and give this team the chance to develop. So it would be wonderful to win the league, but we are still in a process of developing. So I won't be disappointed if we will be runners-up this year.
No, I mean, I've kind of almost resigned myself to it now anyway. So I'm kind of expecting us to be runners up. So if that is how it works out, I guess I'll be able to deal with it, because it's I've kind of accepted it really. But yeah, I mean, the only issue with playing Leah Williamson in midfield, which again, I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be able to work, is that does at this moment in time leave us short in defence, because she's so important in the defence, isn't she? The games that she missed either side of Christmas, we saw how unorganised we looked at the back. So obviously Rafaela Souza's come in since then, and she's made a difference. But I still think that maybe Lotta and Rafa together could be a good partnership with Leah just in front. Maybe that's a possibility. I think we do need to strengthen in midfield. I think we could possibly strengthen in defence as well. And obviously Viv's future is going to decide whether or not we need to strengthen in the attack as well, isn't it? We'll know that at the end of the season a lot more, I guess. But I agree. I don't think we're far away, and I think a few tweaks here and there, a few tactical things in those certain games, as you said, maybe trying different things in those sort of games, because what we've been doing hasn't really worked, and 1 or 2 additions to the squad and stuff like that. And I mean, Amar, do you think that we have closed the gap this season? It's clear to see, we're in the title race, 4 games to go, 1 point off the lead. So I mean, we've clearly improved this season a lot, but are we able to take that next step, do you think? And is it far away? Do you feel that we can go from being a very good team, which we are, to a team that can actually go on and win these big trophies like Chelsea are doing, Barcelona are doing, and other clubs elsewhere?
Yeah, I mean, it will be very difficult, as we expect. You've got to remember, it's not very easy for a new manager with the players he's got. He's got good players, and he's recruited really well. That's what I've been impressed with during his first season in charge. It's never going to be easy to take over. It's a tough job. I mean, when you're managing the most successful team, we'll never forget. I'll never get tired of saying, yes, we expect to be challenged, but Arsenal will always be, and no one will ever surpass what Vic did. I don't want to keep on sounding like a bit of a broken record, but when you're managing the most successful team in English women's football history, it's not easy to try and consistently try to try to take them back to where they once were. He's taken the right steps. You can see he's got good players, but for me, the main areas I think we need to improve is for example, the other day, I just don't know. I didn't see his. So if I go back to the game the other day, that game was maybe crying out for somebody like Jordan to come off the bench and help Kim out, because those two work so well together with Leah in the midfield. I always think that's our best three. So I don't know, maybe playing those three regularly, but the four forwards maybe was a bit of risk, and Katie McCabe maybe should have played on the left with Veenreuter in the defence. I just think she was a little bit out of position. But if I go back to the game the other day, for example, but if we're looking forward, I think maybe we needed to add a little bit more creativity going forward. There's a little bit more creativity, because sometimes in the big games we lack that penetration to really open up teams at will and do on a regular basis. And also at the back, just need to. I don't like us playing. I know we sometimes see in with Arteta's teams, and they sometimes can be a bit iffy playing out the back as well. If they can just hoof it half most of the time, rather than just try to invite themselves onto pressure, and also just be a bit more solid and compact at the back. That's what I think we need to improve to take the next steps. But overall, I would say I'm pleased with the progress that Jonas has done with this team. And I wouldn't be resigned yet. You never don't rule out them lot from doing us a favour. So I'm not giving up just yet. I'm not giving up just yet. I know if we finish second, people will say, "Oh, it's the third season without a trophy." But look at the Liverpool side under Jurgen Klopp, for example. I mean, I don't know, sound like I'm bagging on. Sorry, but look where they are now, and the time it took to get to where they are. Everyone was saying, "Oh, it's been 30 years without them winning the title," and so I mean, we can try to prove a lot of the silence a lot of the doubters wrong in that regard. So so overall I'd say I'm pleased, but it's obvious to me that the main areas that need work are creativity going forward, and to certainly try to be a little bit less casual at the back.
Yeah, I mean, I think defensively, that to me is the biggest difference between us and Chelsea. I think defensively they're far more stable. They don't make many mistakes today at the back, let's be honest. It's very, very rare. And we do tend to make one or two too many, especially in those big games, and we get punished. And that's for me is the biggest difference at the moment. But as you said, I haven't given up all hope of us managing to win the league yet, but I've kind of resigned myself that we are probably going to finish second, and accepting that as our fate, and being, as Andreas said, probably reasonably happy with that, looking at where we've been the last couple of seasons, the improvements that we've made. To be even fighting for the title still at this point in the season is a massive step forward from where we've come from. So we need to be excited about that. And who, like you said, I agree. And Emma, who knows, the last couple of games they've got to play Tottenham twice, haven't they? Chelsea. I know we've still got to play them as well. Yeah, they've got tougher 4 games. We've said that before, and you never know. Stranger things have happened. Let's be honest. They might have an off day, and one day they can't find the target, like against Brighton already, and who knows, it might happen for us. Michael says there, Louis Cord says for Arsenal manager, no, we're happy with Jonas. We're happy with Jonas. So we're not gonna
Barcelona manager,
not yet anyway. Terry says Emma will go soon, and now Chelsea ain't got no money. Well, we'll see what happens with the takeover and stuff like that, won't we, with Chelsea? We don't know what's going on with him yet, but yeah, I mean, hopefully she will leave, and I don't know where she'll go, because we don't want her back, do we? Surely. Herman says in the Chelsea game, I would have put Miedemar as striker, and perhaps we would have won the game. Well, we may have created more opportunities if we'd done that, possibly. I don't know. We'll never know now, will we? And Herman says that Arsenal is not far away from getting top. No, we're not far away. Totally not. But we are. There is still a gap to make up, and there's still some improvements that we need to make if we are going to start winning the big trophies again. And Herman says sometimes you shouldn't micromanage the team. No, you're absolutely right. I totally agree with that. Terry says shooting practice needed big time. Well, I mean, it wasn't so much shooting practice. We didn't have many shots, did we?
Creativity. No shots on target, I think it was, wasn't it, or something? That was pretty.
Yeah, no shots on target. Yeah, we didn't miss shots on goal, did we? We didn't have too many. That was the problem.
There's no creativity. Yeah.
Yeah, the creativity was lacking. Yeah, definitely. That was a problem in that particular game. Herman says watching 96,000 fans watching Barcelona. It's time for Arsenal and all women's teams to play the big stadium. It is, but it's got to come at the right time. And if Arsenal were to play at the Emirates regularly now, we can't anyway, because we've got a contract with Boreham Wood till 2024. But even if we did now, we saw the crowd against Wolfsburg with 5,000, and it needs to be more of a gradual thing. And I think in 2024, when the contract at Boreham Wood's over, that might be the time to do it, because like next 2 years, I think with the TV. We've seen some crowds this season already, haven't we? There's been record-breaking crowds in the WSL. The Arsenal against Tottenham game coming up is going to be a big crowd at the Emirates. And I think over the next 2 years, that's going to really evolve. And I can see us playing at the Emirates very soon. but not quite yet. I don't think we could fill that regularly enough in the home games at the Emirates to justify playing there at this moment. But it is something for the future. I'd love to see the Arsenal men and the Arsenal women, one home ground, playing the games there and being one big club, if you like. And it still feels a little bit separate, doesn't it? Because of a separate ground and stuff. I know the club are trying to bring everything together, and it's kind of working to a degree, but it is still a little bit separate. And unfortunately, it's going to take a little bit of time. But maybe in 2 years' time, that may happen. Whether Arsenal will ever get 60,000 in the Emirates for a women's game, I mean, that's the dream, isn't it? Imagine that would be amazing. And maybe one day it will happen. I'm sure it will eventually. Just when will that happen? Will it be the next couple of years? Will it be 10 years, 5 years? Who knows? But the interest is building. You know, we've seen the Euros, haven't we? The ticket sales for the Euros already in the summer. Most of the games are sold out already, aren't they? So it just goes to show the interest in women's football. It's getting there. And I think 2024 is going to be the time for Arsenal women, and maybe some of the other WSL teams as well, to actually play in the main stadiums regularly, and that'll be their new home ground. Maybe some of them do already, don't they? A lot of the time, Leicester play in their ground a lot, don't they? Aston Villa play at Villa Park quite a bit. It is, but yeah, that's the future, and it will happen. It's just not yet. We're not ready for that yet. Barcelona clearly are. 96,000, 2 games in a row, 3 games in a row, everything. But they clearly are. But I think elsewhere, not quite yet. But it's exciting times ahead for women's football, actually, and you know, we're hopefully going to be at the forefront of it, you know, with the team that we're building. Let's hope so, because you know, that's what we all want. Before we move on, obviously look ahead to the Everton game, which we'll come on to. There was some exciting news for one of our one of Andreas' favourite players, because he's got a shirt actually in the So a new contract for, of course, Lotte Rubenmoy, as say Andreas got the shirt there in the background there. I mean, she's had a great season overall. Yes, she's had 1 or 2 problems, and she didn't have a great game against Chelsea in the end. But I think she deserves that new contract, not only for her performance on the pitch, but all the stuff she's doing off the pitch as well, in the Arsenal inner community and stuff like that. So, you know, great that she's come through our academy system. She's an Arsenal fan. We saw her match at Mentor when she scored at the Emirates against Wolfsburg. And it is great, isn't it, Andreas? I mean, I know you'll be delighted that we've tied her down to a new contract, but she deserves it, doesn't she, for the progress that she's making?
Absolutely, and everybody knows I'm a fan of Lotta, and I was very happy to see this. And it's not only that she re-signed the contract for playing for Arsenal, but there's a second part in this contract. What she will do with Arsenal, for the community, and this shows her character. And I think she's a very intelligent intelligent person who thinks a lot about the things going around her, not only on the pitch but also off the pitch, and the development of women's football, the chances for the young girls. She's thinking a lot about this, and she wants to do something, and she has this Arsenal in her blood, everything, and she wants to do it with Arsenal, for Arsenal. And so what better role model could you have for the young girls in North London than a player who was in the academy, who was playing, I think, since she was 8 years old. She was playing in every youth team from Arsenal, and look how far she got. She went 3 years to the United States. She returned to sign her first professional contract, and she's a regular starter for Arsenal. She's a starter for the national team. I think she has earned 7 caps for the Lionesses. So, as I said, you can't have a better role model than Lotta, Leah, Anna. Girls from our own academy, and for her is she wants to do more than not only playing. So this is very good signing, of course, for her. She can stay at her childhood club, at the club that she loves and supports, but also for the club to have such a representative in the community. So I was very happy, very delighted to see this, and I think, and when we look at her performance on the pitch, we see in the second part of the season a development from her. And in German we have a word for the defense. We say Abwehrchef, so the boss of the defense. This is not Lotta's role. It's Leah. Leah is the boss of the defense. And in former years, I think Jen Beattie was. But my opinion is Lotta needs someone who organizes, who is the boss in the defense. And so therefore she was growing with her performance when Leah came back. As long as we were missing Leah, Lotta had her problems because she's not the one to organize the defense, to be the boss of everything. And so I think together with Rafa Sousa, it could be a good pair, Rafa and Lotta. And this would open the chance for Leah in the midfield role. Just about the signing of Lotta, I was delighted, and I'm very happy for her and for us that she stays.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I was really, really pleased, and it's great to see, isn't it, that there's a lot of these players that have come through the academy now that are not only, obviously the ones in the men's team are well publicised. We know the academy there, but the women's academy is maybe overlooked a little bit, actually, isn't it, with the success that they're having as well. And I think Lotta is the latest example of that because, I agree with pretty much everything that you said. I mean, on the pitch, she's improving. Yes, she still needs to work sometimes on her. Sometimes she switches off, doesn't she, a little bit in games, and she can make a little mistake here and there. But that's improving. And I thought actually until the Chelsea game, when in the second half of the Chelsea game, when she made one or two mistakes, up until then, and her goal kicks actually, which were a little bit wasn't they, against Chelsea? But other than that, I think she's improved a lot this season. And I thought she was brilliant in the two games against Wolfsburg, for example. And she's looked a lot more solid, and she seems a lot more she's not switching off as much as she perhaps once did. So she fully deserves the contract. I mean, Emma, you must be delighted that she signed that as well. I say, as Andreas rightly says, not just for what she's doing on the pitch, but all that great work she's going to be doing off the pitch as well, in the community. That's just fantastic, isn't it, to see an Arsenal player that gets the club, gets what it means, and is looking to help the future generations. It's great, isn't it?
I mean, it's great for young people who look up to their role models to see something like Lotta and go on to do and be inspired. But how can you not be inspired by something like that? Yeah, when you mentioned it, I was really happy. When I was playing earlier, it was really good to see. And having read the article on the BBC earlier, I was just actually revisiting it now. She said it's a show of respect, and it's great to see that. Because she's been an Arsenal fan through her life, and now she's doing what she does best on the big stage, popping up with important goals, really adding a bit of solidity to that back line. I mean, what more could you ask for? She's only going to get better, and even playing alongside, even getting regular playing time in Serena's England side, it's all going to be better for her, for club and country. And and as you say, the work she's going to be doing off the pitch and to inspire youngsters to be where she wants to be, it's great. So I mean, She also talks about, reading here actually, she actually talks about we can still have the ability to compete with the best and want to win. And where else would you want to be, in all honesty? It's great to see, and long may she continue to do well for us.
Exactly, yeah. And I say it's great that it's a player like that who understands what Arsenal means. They're talking about, aren't they, this culture thing at the club at the minute. Culture, and someone like Lotta 100% gets that, doesn't she? She's part of that culture herself. Guess who's just joined us, actually? I'll have to move into your normal slot because it gets confusing if you're not there. Okay, great. Are you okay, Matt? Good to see you.
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, we're not bad at all. Not bad at all. We've been looking back on a Chelsea game. We're just talking about Lotta Wubben-Moy's new contract. How delighted we all are, particularly Andreas, of course, with his shirt there in the background. What did you make of that? Are you sort of pleased for Lotta to have got that new contract this week?
Well, it's always nice that things like this come out of the blue. The fact that she's made that interview, and not only that, there's also got the bit of Ian Wright in the background as well for just to show for it. It means a lot. It means that we've got people who are looking at, as Amar was saying, as I was in the background that we've got a community here and it's here to stay. We've got people that are trying to show you what the Arsenal way is. We don't need a fancy £5,000 company turning around who are supposedly Chelsea fans saying, "Oh, this is Arsenal for you." But yeah, importantly that she signed, and it's one less thing to worry about.
Exactly, yeah. And I mean, obviously, if we can tie most of our good young players into long-term contracts, then that's great for the club anyway going forward, isn't it? And she's obviously part of the future, and I think that's what it's about as well. And we would talk about that just before, wasn't we? About building the club forward and getting that kind of side of things moving in the right direction. One of those things is the young players, being a big part of that. Anna, another one as well, who of course hopefully will be back next season with us. Following her loan and her illness that she's currently got. Herman says, Wolfsburg didn't play well today. Look, they probably wasn't allowed to, what I saw. Too slow in their own half, gave the ball away. It was too much for me to bear. Okay. Yeah, I must admit, I only watched it till it went to about 2-0 after 10 minutes. This game is over. This is over now, isn't it? Just
because the best bit, man. The first half an hour, they were just unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, it looked one-way traffic, didn't it? And it obviously finished like that. Terry says, Everton 77, at least you made it before we played Everton. Yeah, just in time for the game, which starts on Sunday evening. So he made
another 6:45 kickoff as well, yeah.
It's all right. It's only about an hour away from me.
Oh, you're going, aren't you? You're going, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, enjoy it. I'll be good. Yeah, be good.
No, it should be good, yeah. I mean, it could be even better if Tottenham have done us a favour just before.
Yeah, my plan is to watch that game and then start heading up. So
in case you missed it, Matt, Richard's kind of he's not feeling very confident that we can rely on them lot to do us a favour, but we'll see.
Well, I don't like. I mean, I don't like it when we have to rely on other teams to help us out. It'd be nice if it was in our own hands and we can win our 4 games and it was going to be enough. Unfortunately, that's not the case, and we have to rely on them. But I mean, you never know. I haven't given up hope. I'm just.
Oh no! I'm not going to go. I'm just saying.
Yeah. No, I mean, it is difficult at this moment in time to see any. I mean, you watched the way Chelsea played against us last week. They beat us in the end quite comfortably. Yeah. Can any of those other 4 teams they've got to play, who technically are worse than us, can any of them do something to stop Chelsea? I mean, maybe they can. Hopefully they can, but we'll see. I mean, I'll say let's wait and see what happens. But actually, why don't we actually look ahead to this weekend, because it is a big game for us and it's a big game for Chelsea as well. And this could be the weekend where the title race could be swung back in our favour. Who knows? I mean, obviously, the game away at Everton last season was again towards the end of the season, and that actually proved to be an important game, wouldn't it? Because the penalty in the last kick of the game from Kim was the game that basically sealed our place in the Champions League, didn't it? Yes. So it was a really big, important result for us last season in this fixture on this ground. And who knows if Tottenham have done us a favour, it could end up being a pivotal game this season as well, couldn't it? A game that we have to win again, and a win at Everton could be what takes us back to the top of the league. So another important game against a team that's had a very, very poor season. Let's be honest. They've got through several different managers. They've spent a lot of money, and they are still struggling at the wrong end of the table. I mean, Andreas, what are you anticipating about this game? Because to be honest with you, recovering from that semi-final defeat, I know we've had a week and they would have worked on it and everything like that, but they did actually have a day off yesterday as well, I think it was. A lot of them had pictures on Instagram in London, didn't they? A day out, which is nice. So they've had a bit of a good week, hopefully. But what are you anticipating from this game? Because Everton have been all over the place this season, haven't they, really? I mean, not what we would have expected. Everyone expected them to be challenging for the top 3, possibly. And here they are, just above the relegation zone, like they are with the men, funnily enough. I mean, what are you anticipating for Sunday then? Do you think it's a game that obviously we're going to be favourites, but do you think it's going to be a nice, comfortable afternoon, or with the pressure going to get to us and it could be another game like last season where it was quite tricky in the end?
I would prefer to have the earlier kickoff time, so to put pressure on Chelsea if we win at Everton. So the pressure will be on us.
Regardless,
Anyway, if Chelsea wins, they are 4 points clear, so we must win at Everton. And if Chelsea would lose points, then also the pressure would be on us to grab this chance. So it's not the best to have the late kickoff. But anyway, Everton has had a bad season. Before the season started, I would have said Everton could compete for the Champions League spot. At least they are fourth or fifth in the table. And now, if we would have two teams being relegated, then they would fight against relegation until the last match. It's only their luck that it's only one team will be relegated. So disappointing season for Everton, and they have not found their rhythm, or sometimes they have a good result, then two bad matches again. So normally we must win there, but of course everybody will have the cup match in their minds, and as I said, the pressure to know how Chelsea was playing against Spurs, and then the must win for us. So it won't be easy, but of course the quality is on our side, and we must take the 3 points there.
No, we must, and you're right. The pressure is going to be on us regardless of the Chelsea result, either way. Because if Chelsea win, we have to win. If Chelsea don't win, we have to win even more. So either way, the pressure's on us. And I agree that the late kickoff definitely favours Chelsea this weekend. Them kicking off first, doesn't it? There's less pressure on them, especially as they're top anyway. Maybe the TV should have looked at that and thought, you know what, Chelsea have got less pressure anyway, so put them on last and adds to their pressure a little bit. But anyway, the fixtures have come out the way they've obviously done it for the TV and what have you. But ultimately, regardless of whatever the Chelsea result is, we still have to win our game because there's still 3 more left afterwards as well. That we need to keep ourselves in there fighting for it, don't we? As Herman rightly says there, we have to win all our games because Chelsea won't lose a game. No, Chelsea probably won't lose a game, but they might draw one, and that would be enough, wouldn't it? To sneak in a little bit and sneak that title off, which would be fantastic, wouldn't it? But I mean, Matt, obviously, like you said, you're obviously going to the game, which is going to be great. What are you sort of anticipating? I mean, Everton have had such a poor season. You would imagine that we will be too strong. Our away form actually has been pretty good. We won 3-0 at Brighton recently, 5-0 at Leicester. We're coming into this game with good form away from home, but we still can't really forget that Birmingham game, can we? That came out of nowhere. The last thing we need is another performance like that. I mean, did you think that we should be okay for Sunday against Everton, or are you a little bit concerned that the pressure might get to us? Because there is a lot of pressure now.
Yeah, just on Everton alone, I've watched them 3 times this season, and they've lost all of those games. But honestly, I look at this team and I think they should be doing more than what they should be where they are at the moment. They've got a great squad. They've got a great sense of where they want to be. They want to be fighting for that Champions League spots every season. They want to be challenging for cup titles every season as well. Tony Duggan seems to have lost where she's supposed to be playing. She's supposed to be a forward, but she ends up coming back into the midfield. So I'm hoping they've got a new manager, Brian Sorensen, who's coming over from Fortuna. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the last part of that. In the summer. They've lost Gorvan, who's gone to North Carolina. Courage. There's just announced that Avangard, McGill are ready for the game. They're fully fit. It's only Claire Emsley, who I would say is the real danger to this Everton side. She's a 50-50 for this one. So it's going to be difficult because I think Everton will want. They've had 2 weeks to prepare compared to Arsenal. We've only had about 5 days, taking the rest day in the break we've had for 4 days. I'm not good at maths, so let's just say that. But it's hard. It's hard. It's going to be difficult, I reckon. The fact of the matter is, the TV rights haven't helped themselves because the Merseyside derby is on Sunday as well. It's a 4 o'clock kickoff. So they've decided, right, okay, Everton are at home. Right, okay, we'll make this the 6 o'clock kickoff, 7 o'clock kickoff. just to make it a little bit more easier. And in fact, it makes it a lot worse. It would have been better to have this game tomorrow than
it would have been. Of course, it would.
But yeah, it's Sky being Sky, isn't it? At the end of the day, if we can win, I think I'll be happy. A lot of fans will be showing up there as well. If it was like how it was on Sunday, it was nice and sunny. I see why not. It'll be a nice game. We've got some good memories, as you mentioned, about Kim Little scoring that last-minute penalty. I'll probably put a little bit of a vlog in there about this was where Kim scored a penalty. I think it's going to be a great game no matter what.
I mean, it's a very important game, and we'll know exactly how important it is. Obviously, when we see the result of the Tottenham against Chelsea game. So, but yeah, I mean, I know you've seen Everton a few times, and you seem to be their unlucky charm, which is good. So hopefully you'll continue that this weekend as well, and they'll lose again when you're there, which would be nice. But yeah, I mean, we have got a good memory there from last season. Where I say it's a big win for us at that particular point, and this would be a big win as well on Sunday. Regardless of the Chelsea result, it would be a massive win for us, because all we can do is, as I think Herman said there, keep winning our games and hope and pray that somewhere along the line it's enough, because that's we can only control our results, can't we? We can only win our games, and that's all that we can do. And if we win them all, we'll have a chance, and we'll certainly take it to the last match of the season, which could be quite a tense day. As we know, Chelsea will play Man United on that particular day, so it's going to be fun. I mean, Emma, what are you anticipating from Everton then? Because I every week from the start of the season, I keep thinking, well, Everton are going to improve. They're going to start getting some results, and they haven't. And it's a bit late for them now, but I'm hoping that they don't suddenly start this week to play well, because they haven't managed much of the season, have they? Really, they've been really, really poor, which surprisingly so. And they seem to have a lot of unrest there, don't they, with players leaving, managers leaving, and a bit. I don't know what's going on there. Actually, there seems to be a few problems at the club.
Yeah, well, you can see they've had 3 managerial changes now this year. I was shocked when they sacked Willie Kirk. I thought they should have given him more time, because he's done well in the past. And then they signed Julian Vasseur, who I don't think it was the right fit for them. He's done well at Lyon, and then it was going to always be a big step to manage a struggling club at Everton. But we didn't see what this Brian Sorensen chap does. As Jonas was actually saying, I was reading when in the preview for this week's game, once again on the beat, that you never know. We have to embrace it. We have to be maybe prepared for a different sort of challenge. But I mean, it's going to take time for. Much like it is, you could compare it, if maybe I'm not being harsh to Manchester United fans out here, but it's a bit similar to the job that Erik ten Hag has to do at Manchester United. I mean, if you wanted to use a comparison. So, I mean, but let's see what happens. You look at the core of their squad, and you see players like Christensen, Tony Duggan, Simone McGill, Claire Emsley. They're all talented players. They've all got plenty of internationals. They've done really well at other clubs in the past, and it makes you think, why can't you get all these players to gel? And it's just I find that odd, to be honest. But I don't know what the management or something's clearly wrong there. And it might be different. There might be a different challenge for us this weekend, but I honestly don't see how we don't win this game, and I think it'll be fairly comfortable. And you'll see what I think in the score predictions later. But we have to be prepared for a different sort of challenge. But I mean, we should be able to beat them. I know we've had less time to prepare, but we should be able to, like a lot of teams this season, be able to record a pretty comfortable victory, like we did early in the season. And who can forget Freedom Arnhem's banger, which was really good, which I'll never forget because I was there. So let's hope for something similar.
That was a great goal, fantastic goal actually. I mean, we scored a few good goals in that game when we beat them at home, didn't we? There was 3 good goals. Right. Katie McCabe got a great goal. In fact, Lotta scored in that game as well.
Lotta scored in that as well,
so maybe she's probably due another goal maybe in the WSL. Terry says in the chat, if we decide to have a shot this week, we'll win comfortably, walk over 6-0. Well, essentially, we could win 6-0. We'll have to win 6-0 all season, but who knows? Maybe it's time we did. Herman says, I love our Arsenal players. Kim Little is a fabulous midfielder and captain. Beth Mead, Leah Williamson, in fact, all the players. Yeah, absolutely. We love all the players as well. Well, most of the time. And Herman says, if we win, my language will be more acceptable. Yeah, I think all our language will be more acceptable if we win. And Terry says there to Herman, he says, Rap Souza. Well, of course, we all love Rap Souza, so it's fine. And Herman says there, in fact, never did he do it?
I think that's what I meant.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. We made some mistakes doing that, didn't we, against Chelsea in the end? But I'm sure we'll learn from that. And let's not let Lotta take the goal kicks this week, please, because
exactly
didn't really work too well last week, did it, for most of that game? So I don't know what that was all about.
Oh,
see, Herman says, yeah, look, I love Rafa Souza. She's a top defender. She's a top defender. We need her back in the team, actually. And I think she's been training, hasn't she? So I got a feeling we may see her on Sunday, actually. I've got a feeling we may well see her, which would be great, because I think we missed her again. Funny enough, isn't it? We played Chelsea 4 times. The one game we kept a clean sheet was the only game Rafa Souza played against them. So I think that's significant as well. And if she can keep Chelsea out, she can keep everybody out. So
we missed her in the Wolfsburg game as well, I would say. Wolfsburg games as well.
Yeah, exactly. She's missed a lot of big games, so she hasn't played for a while, actually. So, in fact, she hasn't played since she scored against Birmingham. That's the last game she played. So, we've missed that. We have definitely missed that, and we can get her back. Hopefully, it can help us out for these last few games. But we definitely need her back in the team. I mean, obviously, I suppose we can't look at our game individually without looking at the Tottenham Chelsea game as well, because every week now, the last 4 games, it's basically us against Chelsea. Even though we're playing different teams, it's basically us against Chelsea every week, isn't it? I mean, Andreas, are you anticipating that Spurs may well be able to do us a favour this weekend, because they are at home and they don't concede many goals? Tottenham, they don't score many, but they might not need to score many if they can keep a clean sheet.
Yeah, I just saw the press conference with Emma Hayes, and she said Spurs have probably the worst pitch in the league, and that's the reason why they didn't concede too many goals at home. It sounds like she's searching reasons before the match why the match doesn't went as she wanted. No, but I saw Spurs against Man United, and this was very poor. And I was astonished that they were competing for the Champions League spot for such a long time, because they are not as strong as they were in the league table. But anyway, they are at home, and it's just one match starting 0-0. So we saw that Chelsea also has problems to score if teams are defending deep, and we'll see. We must put our hopes in Spurs, as hard as it is. Maybe Vicky Snaderbeck can play for Spurs and can to keep a clean sheet. This would be fantastic. But to be honest, I don't think so. I think Chelsea will win 2-0, without bigger problems. And then we must concentrate on our match.
We do. We have to concentrate on our match. But I suppose because of the TV separating the kickoff time, so we've got the opportunity to watch the Chelsea game first, and then obviously our game. So it makes it more interesting from that perspective, I guess. But it's interesting you mentioned the pitch, actually, because I remember when we played there, the pitch wasn't great, was it? And we sort of struggled. We couldn't score. Their goalkeeper actually played well against us. We need her to have another game of that kind of magnitude. And if she does, then maybe that could be... I mean, I don't think Spurs are going to score against Chelsea, because I think, one, Chelsea are very solid at the back, and 2, Tottenham don't score any goals anyway. Our best hope's a 0-0 draw, isn't it? That we can Tottenham can frustrate Chelsea for 90 minutes and keep them out. And maybe the ball bobbles around on the pitch a little bit, and they can't get their passing right, and who knows. But I mean, Matt, are you expecting Tottenham to rise to the occasion and help out their old friends from up the road, or not?
Well, firstly, just to go on the pitch, to tell you why that pitch is so bad, they've got 3 teams playing on that pitch. Barnet's women's team and the Barnet team itself. Barnet play in the National League. So you're complaining about a pitch that is at a non-league standard. Well, it's not their fault that they've got 3 teams playing on that pitch. The alternative is to kick Tottenham off and put them on the Astro pitch, which I'm sure everyone would love to see. But enough about that. If they can get something from that game, you have a feeling it's going to be more likely that it's going to be home than away. It doesn't help that they've then got themselves again and the away fixture at Chelsea next lot. And so it's going to be one of those games that you're hoping that they'll drop points in. It's kind of hard to see how it's going to go. But if Emma Hayes is already complaining, she's already basically thinking she's won the game. That's how I see it.
Is she though, or is she? As Andrea said, is she making excuses if she doesn't win the game already? She's got an excuse already. Well, the pitch wasn't right, and then she's got that to well, I said that before the game. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. It's unusual for her to say stuff like that because normally things like that don't bother her. She's so confident in her team that she knows if her team plays well, they'll win most games. And
it's
if
also an excuse if Sancho goes and trips up at the other end and accidentally falls on her face a couple of times.
Well, the fact that she's even mentioned the pitch actually makes me think that if that goes into some of the players' minds, actually the pitch isn't great, then it puts a little bit of uncertainty there, doesn't it? So actually, I don't know what she's doing there, Emma. That's a little bit bad management.
The groundsman, I'm just going to make it a little bit more muddy. Just I
would water it.
Make sure a little bit of more rain and things like that, just so they're a little bit even more uncomfortable with it.
Yeah, I would. Put cold water in the changing room and all that kind of stuff. Make it really difficult.
The Hive's already cramped as it is. I mean, make it even more cramped. Maybe just put in a load of boxes that you for no reason in the changing rooms. Oh, sorry, you've got 18 players. Oh, you can only fit about 14 in there.
Yeah, that's what I think we should do. Cold water in there. I say no heating, no nothing like that. So they've no facilities for them. Everything's switched off because they've got to stay like and let them suffer and see how they cope.
They can't afford to pay all their bills.
Exactly. So there you go. That's what needs to happen. So, but do Tottenham really want to do us a favour? I guess that's the bottom line, isn't it? I know they're a professional team and they want to do the best for their own club. Of course they will. But to be honest with you, if Tottenham in one of these two next games this week, if they manage to get some points off Chelsea, it actually wins us the league. I think when we get the trophy, we should actually take it over to Tottenham and say, thank you for this. Thank you for helping us win this. That's really nice of you. We'll return the favour one day.
You should personally go up to Rhian Skinner and give her the biggest bear hug you could ever imagine.
Give her a medal. Just give her little medals. There you go. You can have one of the medals for helping us to win the league. That would be worth it, wouldn't it? Actually, but no. I mean, yeah. I'm not confident that they will be able to get a result in either of these two games. But I agree. The home game on Sunday is the one. If out of the two of them, that's the one we've got our hopes pinned on because at Kings Meadow, Chelsea don't often drop points there. Let's be honest. So. In fact, it's only the game against us this season that they haven't won, isn't it? So you can't really see Tottenham going there and getting anything. But certainly on their terrible pitch down at Barnet, who knows? There's a possibility. There is a possibility. We'll be hoping and praying, I'm sure. I mean, Amar, do you think this is going to happen? Is this the game? Obviously, this one and the Man United are the two games I've been pinning my hopes on. Yeah. Obviously, the Man United game not till the end of the season, so that's going to be a tense day if it hasn't happened before. I mean, can Tottenham do it? Do you think they're going to pull out all the stops to do us a big favour and stop the Chelsea bandwagon from rolling on, or do you think they're just not up to it?
Well, I mean, they've been phenomenal all season. I think what Rhian Skinner, the job she's done there, she's made them more solid, and they have to give them a lot of credit. They've been by far for many the surprise package of the season. When you look at the stats, I was just looking at a table a while ago. They're fifth in the table. And yet, despite the fact, look, they've only conceded 13 goals all season. They've actually conceded less than both Manchester City and Manchester United. But the thing is, only scored, it's a remarkable thing, they scored just 19 goals all season. And teams below that's the lowest out of the top 8 teams in the WSL. And it's clear to know that, yes, they've made themselves more difficult to beat. They play a good style of football, but they don't score enough goals. Yeah, they compete well. I know that Andrea says they played poorly against Man United away. That's understandable. They did compete well against City. And I heard Georgia Stanway after the game echoing the same sentiment as you, saying, "Yeah, the pitch was terrible." So I don't know, maybe they'll look to try and set up differently. But I think I heard recently that one of their key players, Percival, sadly suffered an ACL injury away on international duty with New Zealand. So that's going to make it even more difficult for them. Oh, they've got good players. They lack. When you compare Chelsea's forward line to their front line, it's almost like chalk and cheese. And unless Chelsea strikers have an off day or something, I mean, I'd like to think it would happen, but let's see. I would be less. I'd like to think it happened, but I wouldn't be so absolutely sure in thinking it will happen. There's a big difference between the two there. And so, I mean, whilst we continue to believe, I think a lot of people are saying it's going to go down to the final day, in all honesty. But you never know. You never know. They're capable of springing a surprise on the day. Who knows? If they do manage to do it, I might even get myself a Spurs shirt. So let's see.
Well, I think we
this is what happens. Last time I made the bet, I had to get my hair shaved with the number 77 on the back. So Amar, we're holding that on to you if that happens.
Yeah, I think we should actually. Yeah,
if it happens, we might just see me.
I think if Spurs get a result against Chelsea next week on the show, Amar's got to wear a Tottenham shirt. There you go.
Or you just got to hold it up, or you just get one of those baby ones and just have it.
I don't know. Maybe they want to get Son or Kane to play for their women's team. Who knows? But yeah.
It's got to have Vicky on the back as well.
I'm not sure if I'm going to. Maybe not next week because I'm actually going to be away. I'm going away for a couple of days next week, so I don't know if I'm going to make the show. But if I do, I'll try to come on with a Spurs show.
Definitely. That's assuming that they've got a result in one of these games anyway in this week. Let's hope they do. Terry's not confident. He says Spurs are as good as boiling the bag mashed potato. Our only chance is Man U. Well, a Man U is obviously a stronger chance, but then Chelsea are at home in that game, and that's the one thing. This one is away at least on a terrible pitch. So, you know, I haven't given up all hope that Spurs can't do it. I'm just not going to pin my hopes on them because, you know, Tottenham tend to let everybody down constantly. That's what they've done throughout their entire history, both the men's team and the women. So we can't rely on them too much. But I'm gonna believe they've got a chance, and let's hope that they can pull off a miracle and help us out, which would be fantastic. I mean, we need to get some score predictions then. Andreas, start with our game then against Everton. What's your score prediction for that one?
For our match against Everton, okay, yeah, I think we should win and we will win, and but I don't think we will have a clean sheet. We conceded too many goals in the last matches, so it will be a 3-1 for us.
Ooh. Well, 3-1 would be nice enough, wouldn't it? We'll take a 3-1, nice 3-1 away. And what about Spurs Chelsea? What do you think the score will be on that one?
I just checked again and saw they have the third best defense in the league.
They do. That's right.
It gives us hope, and their Finnish goalkeeper Tina Kopela, she was outstanding against us. Yeah. And today I read that her girlfriend is on visit in London. Maybe this will give her more confidence or let her.
Oh, good.
The match of her life when her girlfriend is watching her. So, but no, I think Chelsea will win 2-0. Unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we'd be surprised if that did happen. Matt, then, I don't really want to get your prediction, but we will anyway. What's your prediction for our game against Everton first?
1-0.
Well, okay, yeah, no, that's good.
No,
but we'll take that from Matt. That's fine. And what about Spurs against Chelsea? What are you thinking for that one?
500 to Tottenham.
500 Tottenham would be nice. I can't see them scoring 500, but just 0-0.
No.
6-0 Doddle. Well, yeah, I don't think it'll be a 6-0
Doddle, but let's see.
But no, I don't think it'll be 6-0. Emma, what are you thinking our game first?
The first game, Everton, I think we'll be comfortable. We haven't conceded, apart from that Birmingham game, which was a shock to the system. I don't think we'll be in too much trouble. I think we'll put 4 past Everton. So I'll say 4-0 to Arsenal. And as for Spurs against Chelsea, I think they'll compete well, but I think Chelsea will end up being too strong for them and they'll win 3-1.
3-1. Wow. Okay, that was Terry's got a little bit conservative there. He says 10-0 to Chelsea. He's obviously got a lot of faith in Tottenham to do us a favour.
He double figures. He clearly wasn't watching Barcelona, was he? But yeah.
You know what will happen? Half the players will turn up, they'll complain about the pitch and go home. And Chelsea will only play with like 7 players.
Or maybe like they did when we were chasing the Champions League win back, was it back in 2006? And Sheffield make them some dodgy food and they'll feel unwell or something. Who knows?
Oh, the lasagna theory. Love that.
Yeah, we'll have to try that. We'll have to try that on maybe one of the games.
You laughed yourself a bit when Chelsea got the shit.
Yeah, that was quite good. But yeah, I mean, I think we'll win our game. I've got to be honest. I think we'll be maybe 3-0. I think we'll have too much for Everton. I think it may be a slow burner like a lot of our games tend to be. And I think we'll maybe get 2 of the goals in the second half. But I do think we'll win 3-0, and that'll be great. And yeah, I'm gonna be optimistic with Tottenham. I'm gonna say 0-0. I'm gonna say Tottenham are gonna do it. They're gonna help us out. It's gonna be 0-0.
Good on you.
We will love Tottenham forever if they do that for us. But that's what I'm gonna go for. I think the bobbly pitch, Chelsea will be missing chances, putting them over the bar, miss kicking in the penalty area, and Tottenham won't bother attacking. They'll just stick all 11 players behind the ball the whole game and make extra divots. What I think happens actually, Arsenal's groundsmen should go out to the pitch on Saturday evening and make it worse. Dig it up, make divots everywhere, and that's what he should go and do. That should be his job. Actually, I should pay him to do that, right? And then it'll make it even more difficult. But I'm going to go for 0-0. I'm going to put my faith, probably falsely, on Tottenham to do us a favour and get a 0-0 draw.
No, I like your optimism, Richard. That's all.
And I'm going to say that they will, because I hadn't thought about the pitch situation, but it is a terrible pitch, and even the fact Emma's mentioned it makes me kind of think that she's worried about it. And if she's worried, that's a good sign, because she doesn't worry about too much, Emma, does she usually? So I think they might be in for a bit of a shock, Chelsea, and I think Tottenham might do us the favour, but we'll still need to win our game if they do, so we still need to focus on that. But yeah, I mean, I think we should have too much for Everton, and let's hope that Tottenham are going to actually not be Tottenham for a change and actually do something decent with their life. But we shall see. Right, okay, what we need to do actually is, before we get on to the favourite part of the show, which is, of course, Match Chart, we do need to do this first. Of course, he's got a good one, he said, this week. So it is, of course, Amar's quiz of the week. He said it's a good one this week. So let's see, can Andreas get it right 3 weeks in a row? That'll be
good run, by the way, it's been a good day. I forgot to add, our team finished third in their charity golf day, and I even won myself a bottle of bubbly, so that was pretty decent.
Wow, fantastic. Great stuff.
Anyway, back to the thing. So, So today's quiz question would be this then. If you take the first letters of our 4 names, you get my name backwards, which is R-A-M-A. Of Rama. So in line with that, today's question is based on anagrams.
Okay.
Which of these, therefore, is not the current? Which of these, say, True Who Wants to Be a Millionaire style? Which of the following is not the anagram of a current Arsenal women's player? Is it A, I'm a fraud man? I'm a fraud man. 4 separate words. If you know how to spell, if you don't know how to spell, I can spell it out for you. But it's A, I'm a fraud man. B, candle retailer. Is it C? Sorry, let me start. Sorry, A, so what did I say? A was I'm a fraud man. B, candle retailer. C, hello alienism. That's H-A. Well, I'll go with hello, and as in hallowed, and alien, and then ism. And then D is what was D? Oh god, I'm struggling to think what I can't even remember. Melt on easier. I think that's right. Something like that.
Okay. So one of these isn't a current Arsenal player.
Which one of these is not an anagram of a current current Arsenal women's player? Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Sorry. No, let me say that again. What did I say was the last option?
Melt on easier.
Sorry, I meant melt on lazier. Sorry, not easier. Lazier. Melt on lazier.
Oh, the Z. That's an interesting letter, isn't it?
So is it I'm a fraud man? B, candle retailer. C, hello alienism. Or D, melt on lazier.
So he says one of them isn't a current Arsenal player. Does that mean the other 3 are or not?
Which one of these is not the anagram of a current Arsenal women's first team player?
So are the other 3? Are they a current?
The other 3 are, and one isn't.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, good. Right. Okay. Right. That makes it more interesting, actually. Very unique. This is good. This is going to be fun, actually. Trying to work this out. This is going to be really good.
Yeah. Anagrams, because as you say, you get the first 4 letters of the first letter of odd names, you get my name backwards. So I thought I'd do a wordy one.
Right, I've got one. I've got one that is the player.
Sorry,
it depends on Richard. You've got one of you, Matt, already.
Yeah. So the first one, I think, is Frida Marnham.
He was correct.
Oh,
So
yes.
that's the only one I've managed to work out.
Well, okay, well, we know it's not A then, because obviously Freedom Island is a current Arsenal player, so that's good. I was looking at the last one because of the Z's made it quite interesting.
Melt on Lazier. Candle retailer, walls of Hello Alienism.
Oh, no, that's not right, is it?
I think I know who it is.
Oh, Matt thinks he's got the answer. Go on then.
I think it's the second one.
And who's the second one? An anagram of?
Danny Carter.
Absolutely correct. Well done, Matt. That is absolutely brilliant. That is the correct answer. Well done, mate.
It is, yeah. Oh, yeah, wow.
Yeah, so she's a former Arsenal player, Danielle Carter.
Danielle Carter, yeah, of course it is, yeah.
I could also give you bonus points if you could work out who C and D are.
I was looking at C, thinking it might have been Leah Williamson, but it isn't because there's no W in it. But obviously Leah's in it.
You're right, Richard. Hello, Alienism is Leah Williamson.
Oh wow.
Hello has a W on the end. Hello.
Oh, hello. Oh, right.
Hello,
okay.
hello, hello, as in something which is like holy. Hello.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah. I thought it was Leah Williamson. I was kind of working it out. I had all the letters for Leah Williamson. I didn't find a W, but I was thinking of like hello, as in hello. But anyway, that's cool.
And D. Any ideas who D might be?
This is one I've been working on with a Z. This is an interesting one. This one.
It can't be Zingsberger because it can't be Manu because it's
no, I don't think it is.
Think about which other team members have a Z in their name.
Oh, it's Raphael, isn't it?
No, it's not Raphael.
No, it can't be Raphael. It can't be Raphael. I thought it may have been that, but it's not, is it?
Not Raphael. Are you going to kick yourselves if you don't get this one? You're going to kick yourselves if you don't get this.
Noel Maritz.
Yes, it's Noel Maritz. Well done, Andreas.
Oh, yeah. No. Oh, it is, yeah.
Noel Maritz. Melt on Lazier. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Noel Maritz.
Noel Maritz.
No, well done to Matt. The candle retailer was the correct answer. Well done.
Oh, that was good, that. I quite enjoyed that, actually, because I think anagrams are quite cool, aren't they?
No hat-trick for Andreas, but he'll take the two.
Terry said Maritz as well, but
yeah,
he's only
Maritz,
later, so that doesn't count. And he spelled it wrong as well because he spelled it wrong. How could you have got it right, Terry, when you spelled it wrong in the first place? How could it possibly have been Moritz? Come on. Play the game properly. Herman says, since I'm in Canada, I feel a bit detached as I have less knowledge of the little intrigues in the
Fair enough.
Well, just stick with us. You'll get to pick up all the little bits and pieces as we go along every week because we always have a little quiz.
To be fair, we're due a Canadian to play for us at some point, aren't we? So.
Yeah, we probably are. Obviously, Chelsea have got one, haven't they? And Reading have got one. Reading have got one as well, haven't they? Yeah. So
Janine Becky, we didn't talk about, but Janine Becky, of course, left Man City, which I thought was a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, actually, she's a good player, actually, isn't she, Janine Becky? So another Canadian. Yeah, there's been a few in the WSL actually. But there may be a few more. Obviously, we played Canada, didn't we, England in that recent tournament. Right. Okay. So that was good. Then that was a good bit of quizzing there. Actually, a bit of anagrams, which was nice.
Yeah.
And we all got one right, actually, didn't we? Because
you got
Freedom Island. I got Leah Williamson, and Andreas got Noel Maritz. So we all got one right there, which was nice.
Yeah, that's good.
So that's good. We shared the love on that question, which was good.
Yeah.
So obviously we can't finish a show without everybody's highlight of the weekend. We can't start a weekend without a bit of this. Now, do we need music for this one, Matt?
Yeah.
Do we need any music?
I think everyone prefers the music.
So what kind of music do you think would suit the song? I don't know what song it is. What sort of music would it have to be? A fast kind of rocky music, or would it be more laid back kind of cool music? What would we be needing?
I can't really say because if I say it, it gives away like the sort of it's. I'll try with the fast sort of beat. See if that.
Let's have a little listen to some of these because I haven't played half of these. I don't know what they're actually like. What's this one?
Well,
That's nice.
It's quite a cool tune actually so far. I don't know when it kicks in, it might be better. Would that work? Do you think, Matt, or is that too slow or too fast?
I didn't hear it.
Sounds a little bit creepy, but yeah, it's not bad.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Will that work?
Yeah, it works.
Right, great stuff. Right, I'll turn it down a little bit so we can hear you because that's what's the most important part of it. Right, go for it.
Kim Little's got the ball at her feet. There's not a player that she cannot beat. She'll have your defenders dancing in the street because Kim Little's got the ball at her feet.
Oh, it's so good.
Wow, that was great. That one, I like that. Kim Little with the ball at her feet. That's
lovely rhyming.
What a fantastic song that was. That's up there one of the best ones actually. I don't know what Terry's made of it because I know sometimes his scores can be a bit harsh. But I'm sure he's going to have to give you a good score for that because that was decent. That actually.
Yeah, go on, Andre. Yes.
Oh, what more can we look at? 10 out of 10 from Terry. There you go.
It's like his predictions with the football at 10.
I knew it like that one because it was good. That was a great one actually. Kim Little, brilliant stuff with the ball at her feet, of course. As we're hoping that she does have the ball at her feet on Sunday quite a lot because she's generally quite good with it when she's got it. So let's hope so. But that was a great song actually, a great way to finish the show. As always, it's a great bit of fun, and that was good actually. So we had a really good question and we had a really good song as well. So I'm suddenly feeling more optimistic even more. And I think Tottenham might beat Chelsea actually because after that fantastic finish to the show, I'm feeling even more optimistic now than I was before. So that's good. That was great actually. I think that might be up there with the best one that you've done so far actually.
I think that was brilliant. That was brilliant.
I
think up there with the one about Steen and IKEA and also the one about Zinsberger. I thought those were the best ones for me.
Yeah, they're all good in their own way, but that was probably the best one. I think that was brilliant. So Kim Little has got the best one. So we'll have to start these at the games actually, because it's not, they're not getting the audience they need here. They need to be at the games so everyone can hear them. I think they need to start them off.
As long as he does it on his own, we don't want the four of us trying to sing it together in a little band or something.
Well, no, we'll have to do it at the Aston Villa game next week. We'll have to start singing that songs one after the other just to get everyone going. So Herman says the good and the bad by the British Ukulele Orchestra. That's what we need. Yeah, that'd be good. So yeah, no, I mean
they're not so ugly. Yeah,
that's great stuff. Actually, that was a great song as it goes, which was good. So yeah, we'll have to start singing them actually at the Aston Villa game next week because that'd be good. Are you going to that, Matt? Are you still?
No, I can't make it unfortunately because it's the May Day bank holiday. It's just going to get too tough for me to get down there and be there on time. By the time I would have got down there, it would have been too late and the game would have finished basically.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a shame, but I will be at the game at the Emirates though.
Against Tottenham.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a shame. I can't make that one actually now, which is a bit of a pain. But anyway, we're at the Aston Villa game. I will try and get to the West Ham game as well if I can the week after. I'll have to see whether that's going to be possible. Herman says, do you think any of the Arsenal ladies are watching this? Dean Foundation. Well, no, I mean, hopefully one or two of them might tune in at some point. Who knows? It'd be nice, wouldn't it? Might try and get one of them on the show one day. Maybe try and get lost one because she seems to, wants to get involved with stuff in the community. We can say, come and help us out on our show. Come and have a chat to us about all the work that you're doing. And maybe try and get her on. It would be good, wouldn't it, if we could? Maybe one day we'll have to see. But anyway, that's another good Arsenal women's show over and done with. So we can now look forward to the weekend. Weekend doesn't start officially until Matt sings his song. Actually, that's always good. And if not, we definitely try and get them to come on. Maybe one of them one day. We'll work on it and see if we can get someone to come on and say hello to everyone. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? I might see if I can have a chat to some of them next week at the Aston Villa game. So come on the show. Don't be silly. We'll get you on. Have a little chat.
Come with your channel stuff on and.
Yeah, so come on the show, and Matt will sing you a song, and you'll love it. How can they say no to that? Come on, you've got it. But we'll see what we can do. But anyway, that was another great show, and looking forward now to the weekend. Could be a big weekend in the WSL, couldn't it? Now, could be a really big weekend. Let's hope so. Andreas, thank you very much again for coming on. Do you enjoy the show?
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was interesting to talk about the disappointing cup semi-final, but also about the positive things, the new contract, and then the chances for the weekend. We must be confident and hope the best, and maybe something wonderful will happen to us on Sunday.
Yeah, maybe it will, or if not this Sunday, maybe on Thursday night or next weekend or at some point. I mean, to be honest with you, if we win all our 4 games, that's all we can do. And if it's not enough, it's not enough. That's all we can do now, and that's all I want to see us do. Just win our 4 games, and then what will be, as they say, and hopefully someone might help us out. But yeah, if we win all our 4 games, we can't have any complaints about the season. I don't think it would have been a great season. Only 1 league defeat it would have been as well. But there you go. Matt as well, thanks for coming on and thanks for that great song. You enjoyed the show?
Yeah, it's been great. I'll have to come back and watch the first 32 minutes to catch up with everything. Just a few last minute things. Condolences to Steve Rowley's family. There was a shame about that. And also congratulations to former Arsenal ladies player Marianne Spacey, who won the league with Southampton Women's and will be in the playoffs against Wolverhampton's at Stockport. So might be able to see her in the Championship and maybe even in the WSL in 2 seasons' time. So
you never know. It could be, maybe Southampton seem like they're a club on the up, which is good to see. And great for her as well. Yeah, good shout that was there, Matt. Yeah, brilliant. And I say Steve Rowley. We did mention it on the show I did the other night as well. Really sad news, of course. A former Arsenal scout did some great work at Arsenal actually over the years. Found some great players and stuff like that. So that was really sad. And that is worth mentioning again, definitely. And Amar as well. Thank you very much for coming on again. Did you enjoy the show as well? Great question by the way as well.
Yeah, no problem. It was always good to test you guys out, and Matt, the best bit as well. Matt is great to sing a song, sing along song, whatever you call it. Yeah, no, that was great. It's good to always be part of a good community. Doing back all and reviewing and looking forward to what we do best. And let's see what happens this weekend. And Arsenal win against United. The women's win against Everton, and the Spurs win. Not a Spurs result against Chelsea. Let's see what happens. You never know.
Perfect weekend that'd be, wouldn't it? Can you imagine if all them 3 things happen? It'll be fantastic, wouldn't it? What a weekend that would be. We would definitely enjoy that. Terry says, good show, Richard, Emma, Andreas, and MMM77. Have a good time Sunday. And see you all real soon. Yeah, enjoy the game on Sunday, Matt, as well. That's going to be good. Herman says they'll win 4. Exactly, that's all we can do. There's always some unknown talent. And there is, and I'm sure we will find 1 or 2 hopefully over the summer to improve our squad and our team as well. That'd be great, wouldn't it? So coming up on the channel tomorrow, of course, it is the Arsenal versus Manchester United early kickoff, 12:30. So I'll go live about 12:15 for a bit of build up, the team news and everything else, and full match commentary and of course all your comments as well. So that's 12:15 tomorrow, and then on Sunday, I was thinking of doing a watch along at the Tottenham Chelsea game, but I'm only going to get the hump if Tottenham lose, so I probably won't bother doing that. I'll just do the Arsenal game at 5:45, 5:45. 5:45. I'll go live at 6:30 for that bit of build up, all the team news. I'll say match commentary and all your comments as well. And Terry says, nice to see Emma for more than half an hour. He wasn't that late. He was watching the Champions League game. Leave him alone. Stop picking on him. He's doing a good job. So that'll be on Sunday as well. So 2 big watch-alongs this weekend, 3 big games for Arsenal, one that doesn't even involve Arsenal, but it's still a big game for Arsenal. We're hoping, wouldn't that be just ironic for Tottenham to do us a favour? That would just be the funniest thing. And we would certainly love that. But so let's see what happens. But yeah, so please join me tomorrow for the Manchester United game at 12:15. That is going to be a good one as well, isn't it? Can Arsenal follow up that Chelsea win with another 3 points tomorrow, which could put us back? Well, it will put us back in the top 4, wouldn't it? I think even briefly until Spurs play, but yeah, that'll be good. And of course, Sunday, the real big one. Everton against Arsenal women, of course, at 6:30. We'll go live with that on Sunday. So please join me for all of that. Thank you very much again to Andreas, to Matt, and of course to Amar. Thanks to all you guys in the chat as well. Some great comments as always. Terry in particular, always good fun to have you in. Hopefully see you tomorrow for the Man United game. And we've got another comment before we go. Oh, you go 6. There you go. Come on, we go to 6-0. Well, yeah, I mean, 6-0 would be nice. It would be nice, but I wouldn't be expecting 6-0. I'll take a 6-0. We need to get that goal difference back on Chelsea just in case, don't we? So maybe we could do it a 6-0. 6-0 this week, 6-0 next week, 6-0 against Spurs, and then I'll get the goal difference back, won't it? That would be good for that last game, just in case we need it. But anyway, no, it's going to be a good weekend. It's going to be a tense weekend, exciting weekend. So please join me for everything on the channel. I say thank you very much for all you guys for watching. Please join me tomorrow and, of course, on Sunday evening. And I say thank you to Andreas, Matt, and to Amar as well. And Herman says thank you, greetings. So and yourself, mate. Yeah, greetings from to Canada as well. Yeah, hope you're doing well over there, and look forward to seeing you very soon again. Hopefully you can join us tomorrow, or if not Sunday, for the 2 games. So that's that for this week, and a great show as always. Thank you very much for watching. And in the meantime, of course, as always, massive weekend for Arsenal. Come on, you Gunners! Yeah. Come on. See you tomorrow, guys, or Sunday, or both, hopefully. Take it easy. Speak to you soon. See you later, guys.
Take care.